Hello and welcome back to Ghosthunter. Today we are actually advancing beyond the bridge to see what lies on the other side. And here we see a training dummy that's not particularly happy looking, and over there looks a little bit wide open, so let's head around this way to see if we can get the drop on what may be the hardest fight in this part of the game. That is actually a red herring, that building. We don't have to worry about that building at all. It's every other part of this area that's the problem. And we've not got much ammo, so this will be fun. And so it begins. A bunch of invisible enemies. Was kind of wedged in this little corridor. Trying our best to avoid taking too much damage. There's quite a lot of guys here. This, as you can see from that gate over there, is the Hillbilly Stronghold. That's this level. It's fairly interesting and fairly dynamic to go through. This part, though, once we're past this part, it's pretty much plain sailing. Although, as an example of how difficult this part can be, in the swamp, this is the only place I've died on this playthrough. I don't die during the recording, I actually got lucky here with that. But when I was practicing this area, this was the place I died. So yep, let's be careful not to use too much of our shotgun ammo, because it's very limited, but we also have very little any other ammo, so we just have to be very careful here, and try to hit him. But from here, unfortunately, it's just not going to happen, so we'll have to get into a more dangerous position to get this done. So here we go. Yes, here I am, so there's the sound. I like the sound effect's quite loud, that noise it makes. Makes it a lot less stressful. Here's a guy hiding in the tree, but let's be careful here because shooting this guy makes nastier things happen. Hadn't advanced quite far enough, but there we are. Here's the big problem. Not only are we having pot shots taken out, so we only have to contend with one of these guys. And again, if they hit us, it does very nasty things. That's one of them dead. Unfortunately, as you can probably tell, we aren't quite done yet. Careful, because here sounds like another one. Yep. That's right, from that sound effect you quickly surmised, there are two of these fuckers. The reason I died here was because the first one hit me with a charging attack, and the second one did the same. Each of them did like 70 damage, so I basically just died. Because that happened. Luckily I was able to take this guy out before we could do anything else nasty, but now we are very low on health. But now we only have a few more guys to mop up, not too many. Main problem here is the shotgun's a bit harder to hit them with because they move really quickly and the shotgun ammo does not. The rifle's way more effective at hitting them because it fires much faster. And here's another one on the left here. And yeah, we are very low on health right now. And we've still got more of them to deal with. Yeah, this is a big fight. Very big fight. A lot of enemies here. This is, so far, the most enemies we've seen all at once. Of course, it will escalate from here, but for now, this is the worst we'll see. This is perhaps the most fighty part of the swamp. After this, it's much chiller. More puzzly than anything else. So let's just finish getting past this guy. I believe after this guy there may be only this might be the last guy, there might be one more, I can't remember, but this is a very long fight. This is not quite most of the level, I mean, but it's a very... Yeah, there's a guy behind me, so let's be kind of careful here. I don't know if I've seen him quite yet. Try to corner him. Oh no, cool, he's gone. And now we can actually enter the stronghold and see what happens within. once we've collected this stray ammo. There we go, full on that. That's nice, reassuring. But very low on health. So, but one thing that this game does is it's quite nice, is it tends to know when you're having trouble, well, when you were meant to have trouble anyway, and gives you large health pickups shortly after those kind of fights. So there we go. We're now looking much better, still not ideal, but I mean, one charge from an alligator and then a swipe will still kill us, but we're relatively killy now. That's a suspiciously animated looking hut, so let's get around there and see what happens. I like the Christmas lights that are decorating this area, that's pretty neat. I like this area in general, it's fairly simple to navigate. But there's plenty of visual distinction here to keep it interesting as you're navigating around the porches and back, I hesitate to say yards, but back meters, I guess, of the hillbillies. So yeah, there's something obviously there. But how do we get there? Ooh. This will be fun. Get it off the bricks and boom. That's a cute little thing. That is not really much of a puzzle, but I like that they had that a little bit of environmental variety going on there with a working car, which is something we haven't seen. So let's be careful though, because there is one more guy coming our way. And yeah, if this guy charges, things won't go well, so let's be careful about that. There we go, managed to dodge that last minute rush. That could have been nasty, considering we only had 74 health. The last thing you want is to be wandering through a fairly long area with 3 health. That's not fun. So yeah, there's some foreshadowing there. So let's hit up this ladder. This area can get a little confusing if you make the mistake of trying to explore it, but there's really only one way to go from here. It's a bigger... Oh no, not this area, the next one actually, but yeah, it can do some kind of mean things with that, but for now, we have things to explore up here, so let's head over here for a little bit more ammo, since we used quite a lot of it in that fight with the hillbillies outside this area. And let's head inside this little hut. See what happens. Yeah, this is weird, this part. It doesn't really fit into the rest of the level. It's kind of this really weird, like, magical Simon Says thing. Where you just have to mimic the tune. Luckily, it's incredibly easy and we have an infinite ammo weapon to actually do it with, so we're not wasting too much ammo here, but it's just kind of a weird puzzle. I mean, other puzzles surely have that ghost magic, of course, is kind of the main thing, but this one is particularly weirdly ghost magic-y. It doesn't quite fit. Yes. Very strange. But now we have to deal with another one of these. By the way, because I'd forgotten the name last time, these guys are actually called liquid beasts, I think it's called now. So but there we go. They're not too bad when you're up close, because you can hit them fairly easily. Again, those are one of the easier enemies, although they look quite intimidating. They're not really that big of a deal. So let's head down here now. And continue navigating these little areas, these little tunnels. I quite like that they've got this little prison area going on. Certainly interesting though. This is certainly more well organised than most ghosts we've seen. I mean, most ghosts are basically practically feral. These guys have an actual town. And can coordinate. This is the area that's less ridiculous than it seems. It looks really big and scary, but if you just go to the right, you'll find a way out, and there's literally nothing to pick up here, so All exploring will do was get you lost and get you to go down the wrong one of these pipes, which can be annoying. But now, yeah, this is kind of mean. It dumps you in waist-high water, which is something we can't fight in, and makes us wade all the way around the room to that little ledge over there to fight this liquid beast. Luckily, his projectiles are slow, and this is why, because that is just kind of a dick move, and his hitbox is much smaller than it looks. So there we go, let's take this guy out before he becomes a problem. Yeah, we have very little room to maneuver when it comes to that attack, which is kind of a dick move there. Don't put us on a tiny thing and make us dodge a charge, that's mean. There we go. I do like that effect with the bubble, that's a really good effect in my opinion. It's fairly otherworldly and the tearing textures makes it look kind of comical at times, but it's distinctive from the Ghostbusters traps, so it works as its own thing. So let's head up this ladder in this little cave and see what else we can find up here. Interesting.
What is this? What the hell is going on here?
Don't look much, does he?
He's nothing but a scrawny little city boy.
Give him to me, Pa. Let me have him, Pa, please. Throw it, Junior. Pa's trying to think. Ain't you, Pa? Ain't that right, Pa? You trying to think. Shut up, both of you.
Oh, it ain't fair. I was never gonna have no fun. Tell him, Pa. It must be my turn now.
It's my turn, Junior. You had a brain in that fat head of yours. You'd remember that there fact of the matter. A pair of you bedwetting jackasses just keep quiet. Look, he's coming right.
Well, howdy, Slicker. You ran us a merry little jig, no mistake about that. It's what you doing at the edge of the civilized world? Consorting with that there de Montfort hag?
I don't know who or what you people are. All I know is you're in a lot of trouble. You've been accused of attempted kidnapping. You just assaulted a police officer, and if you don't release me right away, I'll be happy to add holding a hostage to the list.
A long man, huh? Well, that just about seals it. No way we're letting you go now. Law's never done us folks any favors. I'll take that right there off your hands. Dainty little pink girly hands that they are. Supper for the crawfish, that's all you are now, boy.
Wait a minute. Will you guys just wait?
Time to get what's coming to you. Okay, Billy boy.
Yes, Pa.
Step aside. Junior, he's all yours.
Dog. You get all the fun.
Thanks, Pa.
Yep, Junior, Billy Boy, and Pa. What we were seeing were not actually ghosts. If you notice one of the sensory deprivation tanks that they were using, we were actually seeing astral projections. Hence the greater intelligence, the ability to work together, and the fact that they had unique ways of despawning and spawning in, and the fact that grenades won't work on them, because grenades only work on the dead. That's actually quite interesting. I quite like the way they foreshadowed that difference by having them be very different enemy types, and the fact that they're translucent as well, proving that they're not entirely connected to this plane, unlike the ghosts who are kind of here physically. So let's solve a puzzle to get out this cell. Let's follow this tunnel and see where it leads. I quite like them, they're pretty fun characters. Don't go up there, that's a mistake. That's just kind of a little, like, breathing pool, but we don't need that because we're ghosts, so... Let's navigate through this area now. Yeah, we couldn't go there because it was way too deep for Lazarus. I keep making that mistake, but there you go. So let's get up here and get a better look at those sensory deprivation tanks. I quite like that. It's a unique kind of way of doing things. This game, I like the way it kind of varies things like that. And I also quite like the fact that they're all made of like old, like wine barrels and stuff like that. It's like, it's a very shantytown kind of science. Also the fact that they have outfits reminiscent of what we've been fighting. So of course we have Pa with the guns and Billy Boy with the crocodile mask. Junior rather.
Well, I'll be. If it ain't the professor's girl. Where'd you spring from, Tinkerbell? Is the professor here? Well, if the professor ain't here, who you with here? You ain't nothing to do with that city lawman, are you? Well, seems like we all been led a real merry hoedown by that witch. I did wonder about Slicker Second Sight. Just didn't wonder for long enough, huh, Tinkerbell? Junior, better not be a goner. Bring him here.
Oh, Pa, I'm so tired I couldn't even poo.
Just bring it. Well, boy, seems like we had you all wrong. I don't know how you got into this, and I don't know how you got us back into this, but if you're here with the professor's girl, you must be fighting with the good guys.
Professor's girl? Wait a minute, you've met the professor?
Proud to say I have. Mighty fine fella. Saved us from that witch and her son. Showed us how we could see what we's up against. Of course, he did most of the tussling himself. And with the help of Tinkerbell here, of course, the professor's little marvel.
Yeah, she's one of those rare helpful ghosts.
She ain't no ghost, boy. Her body's somewhere. And though it ain't rightly alive, it sure as hell ain't dead. No, sir. Now, the professor said he's looking for a way to fix her up somehow. Ain't that right, Tinkerbell? Anyway, no time for jabbering, Slicker. You need to step into the professor's shoes and help us out.
You just tried to murder me.
Sign a good friendship around these parts. Listen, boy. That De Montfort woman, she's got our little girl prisoner up there. We sure as hell want her back.
And what I need is to find the professor. So where is he?
Well, that's just it. He headed back to De Montfort's, and after that, we never saw him again. Now, mind you, that witch and her son have been nice and quiet ever since. Till a few days ago. That's right, Tinkerbell. At least you know when it's time for action. Now then, boys, you can ride along shotgun. Give this here fella, Sorry, Slicker. Looks like you're on your own. Can't give you much advice neither, but I can give you these. Along to the professor. Might be some help. Now, you get yourself up to that darn house and rescue our little girl. We're counting on you.
Yeah. It's an interesting twist on the usual formula. The Hillbillies aren't actually the villains. They are the heroes of this set piece, with De Montfort being our primary antagonist, so we are about to explore her mansion properly. However, as you can tell from the stark shift in tone, and that strange blue door where before there was only a sealed door, and an interesting fact here that all of the weird, in this room with the shotgun ammo, which you may have remembered, in those glass cabinets we saw both creepy dolls and creepy torn up teddy bears. If you take a look, where are the teddy bears gone? Well, it's time, now we start to explore the mansion of the De Montforts, where we will learn the truth behind what's actually going on here, even if we're no longer part of reality itself.